Hi everyone, this is Access Chapter 13, movie number 1 for the training assignment. So what I have is the instruction file, and then I just wanted to show you the files that you need. So when you download them, you're going to make sure that you get this Excel file as well as the Access file. Okay, so just make note of where that is. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my Access file. Come over here and minimize that. Alrighty. So in this chapter 13, we are looking at how to implement and then automate a database with Visual Basic. And I really just want you to experience VBA. It's not something that, in one chapter you're going to understand really or be able to implement in the future. But I do think it's important that you're exposed to it and know at least, hey, this next step is available if you are in a situation where you are responsible for maintaining an Access database. And by using VBA or Visual Basic for applications, you can make the use of your system easier. So one of the things that you can do is take existing macros, which we looked at in chapter 12, right? So macros are pretty much, they capture your keystrokes and something that you're going to use over and over. You can capture those in a macro. Well, you can take a macro and convert it to VBA, and then of course you can also just code it yourself. So one of the things on page 671 of your textbook, I want you to understand, it's the second paragraph under understanding the functionality. It says, to better understand VBA, it is helpful to consider two common approaches to programming. Object-oriented programming, which uses objects, such as the form in Access. Objects are combinations of data and code that are treated as a single unit. So the application can respond to events that occur in relation to an object. Okay, so we have an object out there, we have a form, we have a field on a form. Then event-driven programming uses an event, such as moving to the next record of a form, to trigger an execution of code. So VBA is triggered by events within a database. The code can then invoke other events or to make changes to objects within the application. So that's a really important paragraph there. And then the next paragraph, in Access, the object hierarchy has been replicated to the structure of the application. Access contains a top-level application object that then contains other objects, such as forms or buttons. These objects have changeable properties. And remember, we've been talking about properties the whole semester. Background color, the font size, alignment. They have changeable properties such as background color or the value of a text box. Objects also have methods. Methods are actions such as save as, print, that control the object's behavior. In VBA is one Office application that can be used to interact with other Office applications. For example, VBA can be used to export tables from Access to an Excel spreadsheet or to populate an email message in Outlook with data from an Access form. So that's really an important component of this, is that you can use VBA across the Microsoft Office applications. So if you're responsible for something that goes from Excel to Access, or Access to Excel, or Excel to Word to populate a form letter, you can automate that using VBA. So you don't have to manually do that process each time. You can do that, put a button, click on that button, and it executes that code, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just play with this a little bit. So I have my start file open, right? So if I look at my instructions, start access, open the downloaded database, save with the file name, which ours is already done there. So I can put a yellow box there. Well, maybe I can. Yellow box. Okay, open the macro, import participant macro in design view. So if we look here, we have something new since our last chapter, right? And that's macros. So I'm going to right click and go into design view. Convert the macro to VBA. Do not add error handling to generate functions, but do include comments. Okay. So here is our macro, right? So now we have to figure out how do we convert that. So if you're looking in your textbook, we're on 672. So the big key is on step B there, on 672, on our design tab, we're in macro tools design, we want to convert macros to Visual Basic. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Double click on that, sorry. And then we have the checkbox. So if we revert back to our, it says convert, do not add error handling. So we're going to uncheck that. But do include macro comments. So we want to uncheck that and make sure that's still. Click on convert. Conversion has finished. Oops. Okay, so now I have 3 windows. It's getting a little crowded, but I can go ahead and do a yellow for that. Okay, I'm just going to scoop this out here. All right, open the converted macro import participant macro in the Visual Basic editor. So what I want you to notice is, and let me kind of get this out of the way for a minute, is here is access, right? But we are now in a different window, and this is the VBA window. This is the Visual Basic window. Notice this little access key here. That's the key that gets you back to your access window, and then you can do the same thing. You can go back over to VBA from access. Okay, so let's get these instructions back up and see what we're supposed to be doing. Oops, sorry about that. Alrighty. Open the converted macro. So I'm going to click on that, double click, and insert a line continuation character after the 10 and following the comma. So what we want to do is if you were to look, there's the end of the line, and we want to break the line up, if you will. So we're going to put a continuation character. So right here after the comma, right, we want to do space bar, underscore, and then go ahead and enter. Right? So we'll do the space, underscore, enter. So that tells tells VB that this next part is really a continuation of the line above. Okay? So if we look at this, following the line of the code. Okay. Insert a line continuation after the character. Okay. So we're going to do that, and boom. And place your insertion point in the line above the line of code. Okay, right there. Create a variable named participant dialog and set it as an object type, okay? So so when I want to set a variable, what do I got going here? Hold on. I am going to say dim, and that's to dimension the variable. And then what is it going to be called? Participant dialog. That's the name of it. And as object. Okay? So what I'm doing is I'm declaring this variable, participant dialog, as an object type. I'm doing it underneath the function name. See where the functions are like, oh, I'm out of time. I'm going to start this on my next movie. All right, guys, thanks.